Today's Words of Wisdom will be presented in English with subtitles in Arabic, Aulacese or Vietnamese, Chinese, Dutch, English, French, German, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Romanian, Russian, Spanish, Thai, Turkish and Urdu. More languages are available online. For your special language, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/subtitles. I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of ragged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love her far horizons, I love her jewel sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for me. That was a popular stanza excerpted from My Country, one of the best-known works of poetry in Australia by Dorothea McKellar, which perfectly captures the natural beauty and the heart and spirit of Australia. Awe-inspiring, surreal, breathtaking. These are words that are used to describe the Australian land and its coastline. The Great Barrier Reef, located in the Coral Sea off the northeast coastline, is the largest natural feature on Earth, stretching more than 2,300 kilometres. The Australian outback, with its spectacular scenery and primal mythology, has long been revered as one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Heading further inland to Australia's Red Centre, Ayers Rock or Uluru, a giant sandstone monolith, is a spectacular sight which changes colour according to the position of the sun. The massive rock domes date back 500 million years and are rich in indigenous artwork and lore. Australians have a warm, light-hearted and generous nature. Anywhere you go, you'll be greeted with a friendly, "G'day mate." It's comforting to know that you have 20 million friends who will always be there if needed. And now, please join us on Words of Wisdom today for an insightful lecture titled The Best Way to Treat Each Other, delivered by Supreme Master Ching Hai in Brisbane, Australia on March 19, 1993.
Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit www.godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centres near you.
Ho was about to become tutor of the Crown Prince, the son of Duke Ling of the state of Wei. So he went to consult Chu Bo and asked him, "Here is someone who is naturally violent." It means the prince. Yeah. If I let him remain undisciplined, the state will be in danger. If I try to correct him, I shall endanger myself. He knows enough to see the faults of others, but not to see his own. Under these circumstances, what shall I do? Chu Bo replied, "That is a good question. Be on guard, be careful, and be sure that you yourself are acting appropriately. Appear to be flexible, but maintain harmony within. However, there is danger in doing these two things. While being flexible, be sure to remain centered. While maintaining harmony within, do not display it openly. If you are too flexible and lose your self-centered, your center, then you will be overcome and destroyed, and you will collapse. If you try to demonstrate your composure you will be criticized and slandered. If he wants to be a child, play a child with him, be a child with him. If he wants to act strangely with him. If he wants to be reckless with him. But remain centered, as we meant. Then you can reach him and bring him back to his senses. This is from Zhuangzi, the story inside the Zhuangzi. So here is a story that is very useful to us, not only to the tutor of the Crown Prince, but also to our daily practice. The son of Duke Ling, the Crown Prince, was a violent man. Suppose we meet many persons outside, similar to this man. And suppose he is in a very high position, and we had to have acquaintance with him through business, or maybe through other friends, a relationship, or maybe through any circumstances that we cannot avoid. So, what shall we do? In this case, the man is in a very high position, and his conduct would naturally affect the whole nation. And now here is a man of virtues and discipline who was asked to become the teacher of this prince who is naturally a little bit arrogant and violent. Of course, he was born in a very powerful background, and many people would spoil him, flatter him, and not many good friends who dare tell him the correct things, because he might react, and any of his reaction when not pleased sometimes might cost other people's life. Now, the man of virtues who practice the Tao and who understand the discipline, even then could not use only discipline and Tao to convert this violent prince into a proper way of behavior, not immediately anyhow. Should this teacher came to the prince and just kind of showing his very proud attitude and criticize the prince, that the prince is no good and the prince is always bad, the prince is up to nothing, etc., and very unvirtuous and very violent, etc., do you think he can last more than 5 minutes? He probably has not finished his sentence, and he's already sentenced to goodbye, sentenced to death. Yeah. Therefore, he was very worried, of course, and he came to ask somebody who is wiser than him, probably his teacher. Yeah, Chu Po Yu. Maybe one of these wise men in the old time. What is recorded in Zhuangzi book must be somehow beneficial to other people, must be wise and virtuous. Yes. Sometimes maybe Zhuangzi himself dare not put his name on it, so he used another name. And Zhuangzi is famous for using a lot of parables to teach his disciples, and the people of his time know how to behave and how to understand the greater wisdom and how to practice or expand the wisdom. So you see, Chu Boyu advised to the teacher of the prince, we can use also in our daily life. But in this situation, it's more important because the prince has influence over the whole state, the whole nation. Yes. But most of the people, they also have influence, but to a certain extent only. If a man of high position behaves properly and acts in wisdom, then of course many who comes in contact with him, or even indirectly in contact with him, would get benefit. Otherwise, of course, he will cause a lot of trouble. Now, in such a circumstance as the violent prince, if the teacher immediately criticize him or try to correct him, then the teacher will be in danger. Therefore, Chu Boyu tell him, be careful, be on guard. Make sure that you are acting appropriately. Appropriately means what? He would say, be flexible, but remember yourself. Just like whatever you do, try to remember that you are a practitioner, so you don't be affected by circumstances. Even if you are with bad people, you remain center. You probably not criticize them, but you remain, understand, you remain unaffected. Just like a lotus doesn't get dirty by the mud that is surrounded the flower. So now, in this case, we, of course, in general, try to help the people who come to us and who wants to have complete enlightenment without side effect, without danger, and with the fastest result. So we advise them, here are some guidelines. If you want to follow this course, we advise you vegetarian, ethical conduct, and meditation 2-3 hours a day. Understand? We advise them, but we don't force people. Therefore, they come at their free will. They're free to choose. But this is the trouble in that story, is the prince. Now the prince represents someone who is in power. And in the old time, anyone who is in power is more powerful than God on earth. Yes. They can kill, they can destroy, they can put you in misery. We are luckier because these days the situation has changed somewhat, but mostly the law of any nation would protect the innocents. In most of the case, we can rely on the law to protect us. So we don't fear so much the man in power. But at that time, when other nations are under control of such powerful figures like lords and princes and all that, and they seem to be God on earth, so whatever they say will be done. Whatever they want to do, they do it. But it is also probably the bad karma of the whole nation that created such things. Otherwise, like in Australia, we don't have that. We have democracy. Maybe people here have good karma, so they have a freer life, a richer nation, and very peaceful. The story told us some lesson how to behave towards other people. That means we have to be flexible all the time. Flexible all the time. Therefore, we work, right? We work like every other people, and we harmonize ourselves with them. We wear the same clothes, yeah? We try to speak the same language, and we do many things that looks like any other people. Yes. But then, at the same time, we remain centered. Yeah. We know that we are practitioners. Even though we go to a non-vegetarian restaurant and we are invited in any party which included wine and meat, but we still eat vegetarian, right? Not because we are flexible, then we lose ourselves. Okay, we have to be like them, so we have to do everything like them. No. We do only the things that look like them. For example, they eat and we eat. Okay? We don't just sit there and say, no, I'm vegetarian. No, well, I can't eat. No. Okay. But while being with them, playing with them, eating with them, we have some reason or some excuses, some occasion to tell them about our practice. Understand? About why we should be vegetarian? If they should care to listen. If they don't, it's all right. At least we do not try to stick ourselves out like a sore thumb, like everybody know that we are better than them. Understand? We eat quietly. We do things quietly. And if people want to listen to us, then we speak. Understand? Of course, if we go anywhere and we eat vegetarian, some people will notice, right? Not that we intentionally fork up a salad or lettuce and say, here, you see, this is what I eat. Okay? And then the whole congregation has to listen to us. No. We come to a wedding party, for example. Let people enjoy what they came for. Yeah? But if whoever notice the difference of our diet, and they will come and ask us. If they ask, then we answer. Understand? We just do it, everything naturally, just like we do it in our home. And be very humble, yeah? And pretentious, yeah? Not noisy, and let everybody know that we are a great practitioner, etc. A flower who has fragrance, then everyone will smell it. It's just somebody has a nose problem, that it's all right. How can we force it? Understand? If his nose is blocked, or he has a cold or flu and he can't smell anything, then don't force him. You understand? All right. In this world, there are many people with flu that can't smell the roses, even though you put under his nose. So don't be upset. So now you ask me then why I came here. I came here because you want me to come. And also there will be many people who want to come to listen to us. Understand? Because we do not force people, but we may let them know that there are such lecture. Understand? There are such way of life. If they are interested, they come on their own. We just offer an opportunity for people to know there is something that they might like it, but they don't know where to get. Understand? Just like people put advertisement on the newspaper, say, we have a restaurant, vegetarian or French cuisine or Australian specialty, etc. And people come on their own. If they are interested in vegetarian food, they come to a vegetarian restaurant. If they are interested in Chinese restaurant, they will automatically come to Chinese restaurant or Vietnamese restaurant, etc. So we give them the opportunity to know that there are such things in such and such day, such and such street. So that is not forcing people. That's the difference. You understand? That's the difference. They make their choice. Yeah, we just let them know that there is the thing like that. If they want to, they come. That's the difference. Yeah. So these things we must learn. Understand? To act appropriately in different circumstances. So people already have such interested mind in such subject, they will come. Understand what I mean? They want to enlighten or they want vegetarian, then they will come. But we don't force people to come. That's the difference. Yeah, because that will be our show. Understand? We may invite people to our house and say, well, we will come and have a tea party, yeah? And then by the way, we talk about something if you're interested to see, yeah? A tea party, and then we prepare vegetarian food, and people know because they are our friends or friends of friends, and they'll come. And then maybe they ask why all these are vegetarian, then we may talk to them about this. Otherwise, not to steal somebody else's show. Now, we do things like people, but not at our expense. You understand what I mean? We do things like that means we are quiet, we are unobtrusive. We don't let people feel our pressure of being virtuous. You understand? But we don't lose our value, our ethical standard. You understand what I mean? Suppose you know English very well, and then because you want some students to love you, you start to speak no English at all. Even when they came to you to learn English, you just say, I don't know any English. All my English, I erased it. Just because I want to be like you. Is that okay? No. Then how can you teach them English if you blank yourself from the English knowledge? You can't. Right? Similarly, try not to make excuse that I have to be like the people and then I do whatever just like them. Understand? For example, we do things that's not harmful but look like people. Okay, you dress up nicely. Okay, you cam yourself, yeah, and you look decent and noble. So people look at you. Understand? Most people look from outside. They say, wow, this is a people that clean, from good family, have good manner, and well kempt. So probably people has a little bit more affection, yeah, or more trust in you, and then slowly you can talk to them. All right. If you wear very filthy clothes because you are a practitioner, you don't care about the outside appearance, then if somebody invited you to a very noble house, before you start speaking, people already don't want to listen. Understand? How can you force people to accept the things that is very uncommon? You understand what I mean? So these things are unharmful to our inside or our conduct. For example, yeah, you can wear what you want, no problem. You put on some makeup, you wear nice clothes, you go to a good party. If you see a lot of people, right? If you are in a position to see people and you look good, okay, so people think, she's normal, it's all right. Nothing twisting inside at all. And then people feel easy, you understand? And they relax and they open their mind. Or, for example, if people invite you to a dancing party, even though you know that you don't want to dance anymore, or you practice meditation now, you don't feel like going out at all, but because it's very important for your business, yeah, important to meet some people to do business with, and then because they like you very much, yeah, so somehow they have a party, a birthday party, and then they have some dancing. If you want, you can dance, and just dance a few steps with them. Understand? But meanwhile, don't lose yourself in the music and forget everything. Yeah. For example, like that. These things are outside and doesn't harm us. So we must know what we can do and what we should not. Not because in the name of flexibility or integration, then you do everything you want and make excuse. Yeah, there are things we should not do. Eating meat and drinking wine and all that, huh? If you have one sip, well, you will not go to hell. I tell you the truth. But maybe one sip, and next time 2 sips, and then 3 sips, and then people see, last time you drank, so why not this time? Drink more, a little bit more. Yeah, today's special day, my birthday, and all that. You see, so that's what causes trouble. So we have to be on guard. That's all. Okay? Because if people see you do it once, the other people will force you to do it twice, and then 3 times. And that's how we started anyhow from the beginning before we go on this path, right? First, we don't know how to smoke. Did you ever see a baby born with cigarette in his mouth? Huh? Or wine bottle? No. They started somewhere, right? From friends. One puff, two puff, and one sip, two sip, and that's how it started. So now we know the danger of persuasive force from other person, from emotional persuasion. Yeah, and people just say, if you love me, you drink this. If you love me, you eat this, and all that thing. Like just emotional blackmail. Understand? So be careful. We love you, yes, but we don't do it. If I do these things, it doesn't do you any good. If I drink a glass of wine with you, a whiskey with you, it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't show you my love. It doesn't increase my love to you. It doesn't do you any good. Or it doesn't do me any good either. And I don't feel I love you more through this glass of whiskey. So why? Understand? Why force me to drink it? And then in the name of love. Love is that. Okay, whatever you do. If you're happy, then I'm happy. It's not that you have to do this for me so that I'm happy, otherwise I am not happy. It's not correct. Understand? So therefore we let people eat and drink what they want if they're happy. Yeah? And they should let us eat and drink what we want if that makes us happy. And that is the justice. And that is the correct way to treat each other. But if people are interested in asking us about eating vegetarian, of course we tell them. Yeah? Of course we are not interested to know why they eat meat. That we all know already. Right? So only the other way around, that they would come and ask us about practicing Guanyin method or eating vegetarian. So he say here, while maintaining harmony within, do not display it openly. If you are too flexible and lose your center, then you will be overcome and destroyed, and you will collapse. If you try to demonstrate your composure, you will be criticized and slandered. Okay, so don't demonstrate. Always be flexible and clever. Yes. Do let people notice that you are two different, not on purpose, and display your virtues. You understand? Most people sometimes because just practice, and over-enthusiastic, and go out and must let everybody know that they are now vegetarian. It's a very difficult thing to do. And meditate 2.5 hours, oh my God, you can't do it. Or, you have to know I am doing it. Because it's also true. It's also true because the whole world are not doing it. Even though you practice this method, you are vegetarian, but look at how many people are. Therefore, it's very difficult thing to do. It's a very, very hard task to accomplish. And therefore, you are great. I admire your courage, your wisdom, and your effort in trying to be above the mud, trying to be clean while muddy water is surrounding us, trying to be a lotus. That is very great indeed. But should we think that we are great at all, then we are not great. We are doing it just for fame. Just like other people outside, they accomplish such a very fantastic feat of physical strength or psychic power or anything at all, just to get the approval from the crowd, from the society. Understand? Just like people who do charitable deeds so that their names be written in a big piece of newspaper, written on the columns of orphan home, old age a hospital and things like that. We should be careful that we don't step into the trap of spiritual competition, spiritual materialism. Sometimes we practice, but then we're too proud of our practice. That's also not good. Yeah, understand what I mean? And then because we're too proud inside, we go out and put our air on, and so make people uncomfortable. So this is also a lesson for all of us. Yeah, Just be natural. Yeah? Practicing this way of life is actually a very natural thing to do. We are here on earth because we have to exercise our supreme power to bless the world. If we don't do it, we have to come back again until we learn it. We learn that we have to do it. We must do it. It's our duty as human beings. So whenever we do it, it's nothing big deal. Understand? Just like you finish high school, you go to college, nothing big deal. But if everyone else who doesn't want to go to college, it's all right with us. If I'm a king, of course I will force people. Everybody vegetarian and Guanyin method. 2.5 hours a day, otherwise expire them. Yeah, there were such kings before. Yeah, in the whole kingdom, people practice virtues. That is in the golden age. Yeah, people live thousands of years and in harmony with each other, and they have halo, right, on their head, and then sometimes have miracles healing for themselves, and not many people sick or dying of young age. And now we decreasing of age, of health, of intelligence, of abilities, and no halo whatsoever, except a few who practice Guanyin method. Therefore, sometimes, because these things are very rare, therefore it become precious. Otherwise, in the golden age, everyone has it. So now, if suppose we see Jesus with the halo, Buddha with the halo, bright light around them, it was because they are rare species, rare being, came from the golden age back here to teach us. Yeah. Normally we all should have it. Yes. I don't know what's the difference between me and you. Like sometimes you tell me I have it and you don't have it. And I don't know why. Perhaps you have forgotten your glory. That is all. And I have not forgotten in my subconsciousness. Yeah. But that's the only reason. Otherwise I don't know the reason. I don't know what I have that you don't have. Even now, we only offer to the people what we do, and do not even condemn anyone who doesn't do. But because we have it open lecture, and therefore thousands of people come, only those people with high level of consciousness, even if you speak a few sentences, they immediately know it. That is okay. Understand? That is all right with them. And they will come and practice with us. These are rare souls, advanced souls. Or other people need a longer time to ponder over what we say to them. Sometimes you talk to people with a good level of education, or maybe a good knowledge about the Bibles or the Buddhist sutra or any other religious sutra, and you'll be surprised to hear what they are saying, and you can't believe they are such person. Understand? That they are so attached to 1 or 2 or 3 sentences in the Bible or in any Bibles, and then just hang on there and never move away from it. Understand? Never move above it or away from it even. You'll be surprised, but that's the way it is. Otherwise, our earth would not be called earth. It would be called heaven. Understand? Or the kingdom of God. Then we don't need to seek any other kingdom of God. If everyone is like that, then I will resign my job. Yes, and go out and plant vegetables. Yeah, pitch my tent next to a river. Yeah, and write my poems and draw pictures, or just idle my times away. Yeah, I'll do anything I want. You see, because the world we cannot change so rapidly. Therefore, we practice. Yeah, and at the same time, we bless the world, and then we aspire for a better world after we leave. more suitable to our mentality, more suitable to our ideal. Yes? And then we finish our job here, we bless our earth. While we are here, we help the people who come in contact with us. We rescue our 5 or 6 or 7 generation and all the friends that we love, and then we take them all with us. And then our job is finished. Our job is to come here to help these people. And when we finish that, we go where we belong, okay? Because we can't just stay here and wait for all the babies to grow up. And because once they grow up, we grow higher, understand? Before we go to a different degree. If our sister and brother is in the kindergarten, we can't just sit in the kindergarten at 15 years of age and wait for our brother to grow up in order to go to college together. Understand? We have to leave the kindergarten. Doesn't matter how much we love our brothers and sisters, we have to do our business. Understand? That's it. Therefore, we practice the Kuan method. We take care of our brothers and sisters while we are here, but we have to go on to the higher kingdom because that's the law of evolution. If we can't stop here, even if you want to stay in the kindergarten at the age of 15, the teacher won't let you. Your parents won't let you. And even the small brother and sister won't let you because you can't play with them. You feel bored, and then you don't play with them, and you are so high, and they don't like it. Understand? It's all different. Therefore, after practicing Kuan method, if we want to truly stay here, we just have to be teacher. We can't just be ignorant person like before and playing fool with people, even though we want to. Therefore, it is natural that practicing Kuan method, we have to go to heaven, whether we want it or not. Understand what I mean? So don't say that we don't love the people on the earth, or why do we leave them and all that. No, it's a natural process. Therefore, you see, that explains why beings like Jesus, Buddha, or other highly developed souls, when they stay on earth, they sometimes are hated by the earthians. Understand? And they try to harm them because they're so different from them, even though they don't pretend to be, or they try very hard to hide themselves, to hide their qualities of goodness. But because other people who are attracted to their goodness and who recognize their goodness and worship them, praise them, and come to them and beg for the teaching, therefore it arouses the jealousy of other group who doesn't recognize that goodness in his teacher because they're jealous. Understand what I mean? Yes, of course, that's a different thing. Even though we all know that all the teachers only do good to mankind, sacrifice everything they have in order to lead mankind back to their glory, to their kingdom of God. Or teach people to do good things, but still, people still are jealous of them. And we can't understand why, but it is like that. Because we shouldn't stay here. The one who come here are the one who, risking themselves. They're making a dangerous adventure. They risk their safety to come to this world, to teach the people, understand? To lead the people back home. They do not belong here. And everyone will smell the difference. It doesn't matter how hard they hide it. Yes. But at least, from the outer appearance, sometimes they could hide it for a while. If they can pass by quickly, then no one will notice. If they stay long enough, they will smell it. Understand? And they will come around and look for it. Yes. For example, if we put a flower, right, hidden in a closet, even then we smell it, right? And then people will say, strange, I got some beautiful smell, so a fragrance. They will come and search for it, and then eventually they will find it. But if we just bring the flower along, just pass by with the flower, even though they smell it, they say, strange, suddenly there are beautiful smell, how come? But then they had no time, understand? Because we cover it in a box, or we cover it with paper or anything. And then even though they smell the flowers, they had no time to look for it. They can't. That doesn't react quick enough, you understand? By the time they react or discover there's some beautiful smell in the room, we're gone with the flowers, understand? That's the difference. Therefore, of course, covering yourself, and hiding your Buddha nature with the body or with anything, it helps, yeah? So it's just what we are accustomed to. That is all. Yeah, it's not the outer appearance. It's really so important to us, the practitioner. It's just that whatever circumstance demand, we just do it, right? So the last sentence is that if he wants to be a child, and be a child with him. If he wants to act strangely with him. If he wants to be reckless with him. Then you can reach him and bring him back to his senses. Okay. This is someone who has to be the tutor of the prince. And the prince's nature is violent. Therefore, he has to be flexible and go around with him. Yeah? And win his trust and friendship. And then slowly change him. Because this is a very dangerous situation. He can't even go. If the teacher even refuses to teach the prince, he is in danger also. Therefore he has to do it, and do it in a wise way. Remember the story I told you about a man who took off his clothes and became like the chicken with a kind of a prince and eating on the floor? Yeah. And then slowly he said to the prince, yeah, I'm also a turkey or chicken, yeah. And then he eat on the floor with the prince also. And he also went around naked and crawling around. So the prince saw, oh, here come another chicken. It's fine. So he has friends, so he trusts him. Because before that, everybody criticized the prince, tried to force him to put on clothes, and tried to force him to sit on the table and eating properly with knife and fork and all that. Yeah. So the prince was fed up with everyone and never wanted to listen to them. But the old man, he knew man's psychology. So he took off his clothes also, went naked and crawled on the floor with the prince, pick up the things with him, and then gain his confidence. Because here, another one looked like me, so he can't want anything from me, and he can't force me to do anything because he just same with me. So he was so happy and go along with him. And later on, the old man put on a shirt and say, why shouldn't we chickens have a shirt? Yeah. Just for fun, okay? No. So he put on a shirt, and the prince also do the same because he trusts him, has confidence in him. So after a while, then the man put on the pen and said, why shouldn't we chicken have pens? Fun, why don't we try it? And so put on pens, and the prince also put on the pens. And after some time, the old man said, why don't we sit on the table? Why shouldn't we chicken have glamour and sit on the table and be dignified? So he sat on the table, and the prince also followed suit and slowly gained his normalcy. Therefore the man was not crazy. He was in absolute normal state of mind, but because he wants to rescue the prince, who is a little bit disturbed, and then forgot his dignity. For he wants to help him to regain his dignity as human being and as the top of the nation. Therefore he has to even put aside his own dignity, you see, and take off all the clothes and acting strangely, crawling on the ground like that. It's only a parable. It might not be a true story. But this story only demonstrates to us how a teacher sometimes uses various methods and look like us and accompany our level and slowly bring us back to our glory. Yes. If we truly trust the teacher, we will discover, understand the teacher's good intention. And because the teacher might look the same like us, so we gain confidence and trust, and then whatever the teacher say, we will listen. And that is all. If our wisdom is a little bit low, then we will judge only the outer action and appearance, and we do not appreciate the great teaching from the teacher. Then we will lose. We lose the precious opportunity. So, similarly, when we go outside, we treat people in the same manner. Try to be with them, but not lose ourselves because of them. Not be influenced by them, but do not act too domineering or overwhelmingly virtuous, obtrusively righteous, that people feel uncomfortable. That's why sometimes we are very upset, we are very frustrated, because people don't listen to us. Of course they don't want to. When we come in with the air of righteousness and I'm better than thou attitude, people scare away. I would have conversed with them as friends or as, ambassador of peace. We can talk, we can exchange opinion, it's all right. Religious matter shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be possessiveness. It shouldn't be over-domineering and scare people away. So even though you are very enthusiastic about our path and you have a lot of experiences and you are very happy about it, but take it easy. Practice for a while first, calm yourself down from all your excitement and change a little bit of our overactive and aggressive behavior first, and then when we talk to people very friendly and naturally, people will listen. If we try to convert the whole world into Kuan method right away, they all run away. Okay, so thank you very much.
And body, we have the so-called chakra. Is it our spiritual center?
Yes, that's right.
All the chakras.
Yes. The different chakras. Chakras means spiritual center. That's correctly. And we meditate on the higher chakra. Okay? You can meditate on different other chakra, like throat chakra, heart chakra, etc. But they're not so efficient. Yes.
We have a subconscious and a conscious. So when we say we get in touch with the inner master, is it we're trying to tap the superconscious level?
Yes. That's right. The superconscious, the supreme conscious level. Yes. That is our master. Yeah.
And is it true that we are connected to the cosmic energy?
Sure.
It's the same.
Yes, the same. Sometimes some master expresses different verbal explanation. It's the same. Yes.
I have one question, Master.
About your aspire to be flexible with everybody, I think it's very dangerous for us, Master, because we are we weak.
Don't look down upon yourself.
We don't have enough power because this world is mania and Satan.
No, it's not that bad. Just a playground.
1% of us, and we try our best. For example, if we
to maintain good, right?
If we got the children, Master, if we let them to play with the bad element, what happened for them?
If you are in a position to deal with people, if you have to do it, then you try to remain balanced. Understand? Remain within yourself and not to lose yourself outside. I don't say you have to go out and look for trouble and try to teach everybody and mingle with other people. No, I suppose you have to be. Understand? For example, this man, he is forced to be the teacher of the prince. Therefore, he has to do it. Not that we go out and look for trouble. Therefore, I say practice first. Calm yourself, enjoy yourself. And if God wants to use us in any circumstances, do it without fear. Understand? You have to remember God all the time. I mean, your own greatest power, wisdom. Remember your inner master. And in dealing with all people, you be no harm. You be in no harm. Yeah, that's all. But I don't say you have to do it. Don't go to discotheque every night and trying to remain above the, the smoke and thing like that. Even the smoke alone will make you trouble. Never mind. But if you have to be in such circumstances, or in any way at all, just remain centered. And then do what is required at that moment. Don't push your children into the bad company. Of course, if you can avoid it, but you can't avoid it sometimes. Understand? In that case, teach your children to remember the inner master. Or you yourself do whatever necessary at that moment. Or whatever you can afford to do. If you can't, and stop it. It's all right. If you feel you will be affected by it, then stop it. It's all right. Say, I can't do it. Then go home. Okay? But if you can do it, it's all right. You know what you're doing, it's all right. You know your purpose. Understand? Yes. For example, if you go out, you are strong already, very strong in yourself. You grow up already, and you take the children into the park where they can do the seesaw, slide and all that. Maybe you do with them, maybe you don't, but you will not be affected, right? You will not have a desire to do it all day long like the children. No, you do it now and again, it's all right. Understand? You will not grow smaller and become a child again. That is what I mean, okay? But you don't have to go out and look for all the children and always take them to the park in order to prove to yourself that you are an adult. That's what I mean, okay? Don't worry, you always have the inner master with you. If you truly remember the inner master, that protects you from everything, okay? Don't worry. If you have to do things, do it, okay?
What I want to ask is that I've been meditating for about 1 year. I want to know what the significance of the lotus.
You see, sometimes people have doubts about the religious differences, right? Now, when you see the lotus, just to let you know that Buddhist, Muslim, okay, same, alright? Because actually you should see the moon or Allah, but you see Buddhist lotus. So therefore, this just to clear some doubt in your mind about differences between religions. Just to assure you that what I tell you is the truth. That all religions point to the same thing and worship the same Almighty God, And therefore also in the same center you see it again, just to make sure you understand this message. Whenever you think of me, if you truly sincere, you see me in your home. Not only in dreams, sometimes you open your eyes and you can see. Just to let you know that I and you are one, and we are always everywhere. We're not confined to the body alone. And in that stage, which you will reach after effort of meditation for years or sometimes months, you will reach that stage too, which you can be at home everywhere. You'll be only present, so you don't need the body to spread sometimes your message. But because your disciples or other people, they're still in the flesh, so they want to see you in the flesh, and they can touch you and see you and listen to you and talk to you. Therefore, we need a body, okay? All right?